Hello, welcome back to another episode of Gospel of Manoj with me and Irene Joselet. So let's begin today's episode with the Exodus of Abram. During Abram's time, the world was influenced by man made deities and traditional customs developed by religious authorities. Detaching from these customs was difficult as even a change was considered as a curse. Religious customs threatened common people with cruel punishments such as life sacrifices or animal sacrifices. These practices were not divine directives, rather, those of the religious authorities to control the common people. This led to a serious issue for the universe's existence as the original order of functionality began to change. The creator of the universe decided to restore the universe to its original functionality, aiming to bring someone out of the evil minded religious system. Tira and his family embarked on an adventurous journey to break away from their human developed religious system and community. They faced challenges in leaving their relatives and community, including their son Abram, and relocating to an unknown place. They faced questions about their ability to break the strong religious customs and the fear of God's anger. The community tried to hold them back but eventually reached Haran, a major ancient city in Upper Mesopotamia. They believed this journey was during the fall of Ur, where the House of Rejoicing, a temple of the moon god Sin, was established by the refugee priesthood fleeing Ur during the warfare. The journey of breaking down human built beliefs was an adventurous one as it exposed the influence of the moon god Sin on the Mesopotamian and Babylonian civilizations. After nearly 50 years of living in Haran, the family decided to leave their homeland after Terah's death. Abram, who had been confined to Haran for years, was called to leave and start anew. This was a challenging task as Abram had to break community standards and leave alone. At the age of 75, Abram, his wife Sarai, and his nephew Lot embarked on a journey to Canaan, bringing their possessions and people from Haran. But the key element was convincing Sarai and Lot about their journey, despite Abram being unaware of his destination. Abram encountered a supernatural divine personality in Canaan and received numerous promises and prophecies. He built an altar as per his traditional system and worshipped the supernatural divine personality. Abram dwelt in the plain of Mamre in Hebron and received the promise to prosper as seeds in the dust of the earth. He met Melchizedek, the highest supreme divine personality, and gave him tithes of blessings. Abram also connected with an earthly mentor to share his blessings. During these times, Abram received two promises, one about a son from his own flesh and blood as an heir, and the other about counting stars in the sky. The first promise was related to a son and his generation living according to the earth's culture, while the second promise as a son and his generation living according to the most high culture. Initially, Abraham struggled to understand the revelations. The main intention of this journey of Abraham was to break the human developed customs and beliefs and start a new realm in and through him. So the Supreme Personality always tries to communicate with Abraham from a divine perspective. Abraham understood that temples or priests are not required to act as a mediator to communicate with the Most High. So when the Most High promised that the land of Canaan would be given to him as his own possession, Abraham kept thinking, how can I know that? What is the assurance for the same? For that, the Most High is making a covenant with Abram exactly like the Mesopotamian system, which takes place between two individuals during those times. Like we have a deed registration through a government registrar during those days, according to Mesopotamian culture, they cut animals in two and arrange the halves opposite each other. For small deeds, they used to cut doves, and for bigger deeds, goats, rams, etc. After cutting, they were placed opposite each other. The parties involved in the deeds will walk together through the middle of these animals cut apart in the presence of religious priests. It means that when one party fails to meet the mutually agreement upon deeds, the other party can cut him like the animals they cut during the deed. So the Most High said to Abram to bring a goat and a ram each 3-year old, along with a dove and a young pigeon. Abram brought all these, cut them in two, and arranged the halves opposite each other. As the sun was setting, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a thick and dreadful darkness came over him. When the sun had set and the darkness had fallen, a smoking firepot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. On that day, the Most High made a covenant with Abram and said, "To your descendants I give this land." While Abram was sleeping, the presence of the Most High walked through the middle of the animals, which means if the deed fails from the side of the Most High, Abram has the right to punish the Most High. Since only Most High gave promise from his side, Abram need not walk through the middle of the animals. Simultaneously, the human traditions and customs during those days were highly communicated, and most people developed a faith in Abram. I conclude by saying that restoring human customs to divine ones is challenging and may not be possible for the entire community. A simple and humble transformation should be chosen for a single microfamily that can trust and follow divine calls without hesitation. Abraham received a call by grace, and the most significant transformation occurred with the human family moving forward according to God's original plan. Earthly provision should be based on parenting the Creator. So, until the next episode, stay tuned for the next episode of Gospel of Manoj. This is me and Irene Joslet signing off.